Well, hello there. This is Nils. You might have seen me before on the channel. I've been a guest at some of the Grand Campaign games, and I also had a Battle Companies tournament with Joachim on the early days of the channel. Today I'm standing outside the Oslo Central Station. I'm waiting for Sebastian, who's going to pick me up, along with Philip and Jürgen, and we're traveling east to Sweden to the Swedish Masters tournament this weekend. And SGF Stig has kindly asked me if I would like to do a video vlog of our escapades in Sweden, and I've said that I'll try to do so. So I'll be checking in with you throughout the weekend and letting you know how the campaign or the tournament goes. It's a rather large tournament for us up here in the north. It's 24 players over 2 days, a gathering in Örebro in Sweden. And it's actually more of a Nordic tournament, as inclusion of us 4 guys coming home from Norway. There's also a couple of guys coming home from Finland and a Danish player. So it's a Nordic tournament. So that's good. It's testament to the strong community even here in the north. So we have a 4.5 hours road trip ahead of us, and I'll check in with you throughout the weekend and let you know how things goes. And yeah. That'll be it for now, I think. We'll see you later. Cheers! So, it's 8 o'clock in the evening. We arrived at the cabin that we have rented for the weekend and settled in and about to get ourselves some dinner. So it's been a good solid 5-hour drive from Oslo. And along the way we stopped at the hobby shop in Karlstad in Sweden, where they still have SPG stuff on the shelves. So we are able to make some nice finds and get some holdback. And we're just settling in now. We're gonna play a couple of games, I think, and have some food and something to drink, and prepare ourselves for the tournament tomorrow. So I'll check in with you again tomorrow morning, I think. So that's it for now. Bye. Right, okay, so it's day 2 now. Forgot to vlog a bit yesterday, as I suspected I would. But it was a good day for the Norwegian team. Finished top of the leaderboard. Philip is top of the leaderboard. Jürgen is second place. Sebastian and I are a bit further back, but Sebastian's only lost to Philip. So we have had 12 games in all. We lost 2 and won the rest, and one of the games were between 2 of the Team Norway players. So it's good. So preparing for the second day now, checking out from our cabin, and are going to the venue and start playing in just under half an hour, I think. And then we'll see what happens. It's been an interesting tournament. It's a bit different than what we used to in Norway. It's not as competitive as we've seen. Sometimes the lists are less optimized than we are used to. But nonetheless, it's a tournament that's held in good spirits, and it's a lot of fun meeting a lot of new people and making new friends, and that's basically what it's all about. And so we're looking forward to the second day of gaming. I'll try to check in throughout the day, but based on yesterday, I doubt that there will be many vlogs or many inputs to the vlog during the day. But we'll at least get back and summarize how everything went at the end of the day. So now we need to pack up the car and drive over to the venue. So we're looking forward to that. So check in with you later. Hello there. Just as I suspected, I didn't have much time to do the vlogging during the weekend. So I thought I'd do a recap of the tournament now. Just come home from Sweden after a 5-hour drive through the night. It's a 1:15 in the morning, and the rest of the family's asleep, so I have to keep it a bit low here. So I thought I'd go through the games and my opponents and see how things went for me and the rest of Team Norway. So I thought I'd start by going through my army list and then take it from there. So I brought along some high elves. I had Arwen as my general with Elven Cloak. I had the twins with heavy armor and Elven Cloak. I had a couple of Stormcallers and a total of 37 high elf warriors with either spear and shield, bow and spear, bow and blade, or blades. So it's a mix of those. I don't need to go into detail in the breakdown of it. So I think I'll go through one game at a time. Yeah. So my first game was against Marcus Fallen and his Ents. So Marcus had brought along 3-bird and 5 or 6 Ents. Don't remember. And we were playing Seize the Prize, and the prize was placed on top of a hill on the middle of the board. And it was on that hill. It was easy or could climb. You have to climb up on one side of the hill. So the starting position was quite important. And of course, I lost the roll for the starting position. So I proceeded to try to get up on the top of the hill and seize the prize before the Ents could get there. I managed to get 2 elves up, but they weren't able to dig up the prize before the Ents got there. And well, he subsequently got the prize onto 3-bird, and he was able to march off, and he had a 7-0 victory. It's a quite close game anyway. I tried to break him, as that would not give me 0 points, which is important for the way the tournament points were calculated. But unluckily, I wasn't able to break him, and he was able to march off with the prize. In retrospect, I should probably move my elf back a bit more, so I could have screened him off and hindered him from marching straight off. But hindsight is hindsight, I guess. So a good victory for Marcus in the first game, and I was off to a great start. However, my 3 teammates all won their first games, so it's a good start for Team Norway, even though I didn't get a great start on my tournament. So then we're heading off into the second game, and that was against Jim Rydén and his High Elves. So Jim had Elrond and Glorfindel and Lindir with a bunch of elves. And so it's kind of a family feud there. The scenario was whole ground, and I was able to get both Arwen's Warband and Twins Warband on the same side, and the Twins were or the Stormcallers on the other side of the board. And Jim got 2 of his warbands on the same spot, but I was able to place Elrond's warband in the far corner behind the lake, so they had to march quite a bit to get to the center of the board. Then I proceeded to heroic march with Twins, so I got past the center of the board, and waited on Glorfindel and Lindir as they and their warbands approached me. They were shooting a lot in the beginning. Picked up a couple of elves. Almost had a mishap with one of the Twins, but not that much of damage. And then I spaced it up so that I was trying to keep them 6 inches off the center of the board. On the other end, Arwen stopped up with her archers and were firing at her father and his troops as they were advancing. Then, after a couple of turns, we had a scrap. I focused all my before that I focused all my fire on Elrond, so I was able to bring down all his fate. And during the game, he managed to get himself onto Arwen. She had some support, and they were able to inflict 2 wounds on him. So I had wounded his leader, and I held the middle. Arwen's line broke in the end, so he was able to march up in the final turn, but wasn't able to get enough models within 6 inches of the center of the table. So I think we ended like 15-12 to me. Plus I wounded his army leader, so that was a 4-0 victory to me, I think. So things are picking up. All my Norwegian colleagues won their second game. So Team Norway is looking very strong at this point in the tournament. So that's nice. So then we won the final game on the first day, and it was against Richard. And he had Goblin Town. So Richard had a Goblin Town and Mirkwood Alliance, so he had lots of goblins, and led by the Goblin King and the Scribe, and he had a warband with wargs and bat swarms, 2 bat swarms and a lot of wargs. So he came on to the table, started marching over, whereas my elves decided they didn't want to show up for the first couple of turns. When they finally got on, I was able to use my Stormcaller's warbands to move up and block a ford and river on the board. So I was able to keep the Goblin King and his contingent from crossing throughout the game, actually. So that was nice. It's important for me. The twins marched up on the other flank, where Arwen and her archers kept the center of the board, shooting off, killing some goblins each turn. They didn't think I would stand a chance against 91 goblins and wargs and bats. But towards the end of the game, I looked over at his dead pile and saw that there was quite a substantial amount of models there. So we counted it up, and he was only 6 models off breaking. So then I got a shot at doing this. So I marched on with some of my elves and were able to get one of the twins and 2 elves off. And time was running out, and he couldn't manage to get his guys off, so he was able to fly off only a couple of the 2 bat swarms he had. And I broke him, but in the same turn, in the final die roll of the game, he broke me. But I still managed to seal a victory from that game. And at the same time, Philip beat Sebastian, and Jürgen won his game. So end of day 1, Jürgen and Philip is on 3 victories, and Sebastian and I were on 2 victories and 1 loss. So a great first day for Team Norway. So we went back to our cabin and prepared for day 2. So day 2, first game was against Andreas Bjørnestig. The scenario was Lords of Battle, and he had an Uruk-hai force led by Vrasku with a lot of crossbows, and Shaman, a drummer, and some berserkers and your regular warriors with pikes and shields. And I thought he had 10 models more than me, and I played quite a lot against Uruk-hai and with elves before, and what happens usually is that I win the duels, but I can't hurt him, and when he wins the duels, I die. So I thought I'd try to swing on from his side and try to chew off his line from one end, where I was able to get more numbers on. But he trapped me. He moved forward a juicy target in the shape of a bunch of berserkers, and instead of standing back and being a bit patient and shooting at them a couple of turns more, I charged them, and that wasn't too smart for me. So it happened just as I suspected, or as I'm used to. I win the duels, can't hurt him. Or no, I didn't actually win that many duels because he had fabulous die luck in that game. It's sometimes everything you do just happens. The dice just rolls your way. It's you almost get apologetic for it, but I've been there. I've had that kind of luck, and I've now been on the other side of it. And well, it's part of the game, and it was really good game. It's fun opponent, and it was one of the best games of the event for me. After that, I got to play against Malin Street, and Malin was very new to the game, and she had quite a good army list and a bit too advanced army list for a new player. So it was the scenario was Contest of Champions. So Contest of Champions, yeah. And she had Galadriel as her leader, the unarmed one. So then I had a fighting chance with my Arwen, I think, and I was able to block down her line and get a couple of kills with Arwen, and she wasn't able to do much with the Galadriel in the ways of killing troops. It's great for the Swedish community that they are recruiting new players, and especially they're recruiting players of both genders. But as I said, it was a too advanced army for a beginner, so probably should have taken a less complicated army with less magic and stuff, and perhaps gotten more out of the tournament. But it's good. It's good that they are recruiting new players, and they are daring to take along difficult armies. The final game of the tournament was against Adrian from Finland. And he had Balin and King's Champion and Floy and a bunch of dwarves, and we played the scenario with 5 objectives that are set in a fixed manner, and you try to control as many of them. You get 2 points for each of them. So we set up, and I had a scrap in the middle. I was able to blast down the King's Champion, killing him off quite swiftly. But in the end, I wasn't able to kill enough dwarves to keep them off the objectives. So I ended up losing that game 4-2. So then I ended up on a total of 3 victories and 3 losses at the end of the tournament, which I wasn't entirely too happy with, but in retrospect, it's okay. I think it's fun games anyhow. And I made some mistakes. I had some bad luck with the dice, but in the end, it wasn't really. It's all good games played in a very good spirit, and my opponents deserve to win every time they beat me. So it's good. And then my fellow Norwegians, though, they had done quite well on day 2 as well. So Philip was able to win all his games, and along the way he beat both Sebastian and Jürgen. And Sebastian he drew against Oscar from Sweden, and Oscar managed to beat Jürgen in the final game, so he claimed 2nd place behind Philip in the end. Sebastian came 3rd, and Jürgen came 5th. I'm getting a bit tired here now. It's quite late in the middle of the night. I finished in 12th spot, I think. I haven't seen the final list yet, but I think somewhere along the middle, just below the middle, I think. Which it's okay, not something that I'm satisfied with, but the games I lost, I deserve to lose. So that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah. This good tournament, as I said, is kept in a very good spirit. Our hosts were having some problems with organizing the tournament, but with a little help from the players, we were able to get through, and I think everybody enjoyed themselves a lot, so thank you for that. And it's a good weekend, and for us the road trip was fun. We had a good stay in the cabin, and had a really great weekend. We tired, all of us, after a long journey, but some fun and shenanigans, and looking forward now to the next tournament, which is the Norwegian Masters in the first weekend of February. Perhaps we can get some of the Swedish guys to come over. But I think I'll sign off now. Just big thank you to Marcus, Jim, Richard, Andreas, Malin, and Adrian from some really great games. And to my fellow Norwegians for a great trip. So I'll be signing off now, and that's it for now. Bye. And yeah, of course, I almost forgot. A big congratulations to Philip for winning the tournament. He is now both a reigning Norwegian and Swedish champion. And of course, a big congratulations to Sebastian for finishing on the third spot and also winning Best Painted. And of course, Jürgen, you did your best tournament so far. So congratulations to all my 3 teammates, and thank you again for a fantastic weekend. So now I'll be signing off. Cheers.